Hello all you lovely YouTubers and welcome back to another video. Here we have me working on values. If you remember a couple of videos back, I was talking about how crappy my values are, that I'm pretty much, all my professors telling me values and my artwork was the weakest point of my work. So I am doing an exercise called the Notan, that you pretty much take your piece that you're drawing and you bring it down to three basic values: your black, your white, and your mid-tone gray. This is one of the exercises we're doing in class right now. We were able to draw whatever we want, and I'm going to pronounce this absolutely horribly wrong, but I'll put a note at the same time on top saying axolatos is what I was drawing here. Very cute cartoon version of it. When we were given the assignment, basically we were given the criteria of what we need to follow, but he said we could draw whatever we wanted. And I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with the YouTuber Solid Gold, I think her YouTube is. I'm not entirely sure, but she has three axolatos. Two of them are albino, one of them are black. And after watching her show, her TV YouTube series thing, Bob, that I can't even figure out because my brain is mush, but I wanted to draw one of them, so I drew one of the ones. I can't remember the names, but apparently the black axolotl, oh god, totally butchering it, I'm sure, eats the foot of the other one, of one of the albino ones. So I thought it'd be really cute to draw like a really weird deformed one, because apparently these things can be like cut up and they just grow right back. You know, for the most part, like a lot of them can like get eaten, a part can get eaten and it grows right back, kind of like a lizard tail, but like all their extremities apparently can work that way. It's pretty crazy. So I thought I'd draw like a really crazy looking, it just grew back so many times that it just looks totally kooky. So yeah, that was the idea behind this. That's what gave me the idea of drawing the axolotl. You'll see at the end I have two different ideas of drawing them, and the class looked at both, and we all agreed that this one was the best one to do. The other one had more of a story behind it, where this one looks more like a book cover illustration. But just for simplicity's sake and for the method that we were doing, this one I think fit the best. And when they were put further apart, they were really good. And you'll see, I'm actually adding more of the value to the piece, where we originally just did the first black, gray, and white. So I am starting to see the difference in the piece and how I can make it pop more, and where I really need to push it when you just break it down to those three values. And then finally, when I started doing the midtones and the values here, when I did the tan paper, I did that one first because I don't think in reverse. I'm used to thinking in building up my values and not having a mid-tone values and then going lighter and darker. So that was the hardest part for me, and I like to do the hardest part of the work first, so everything else can be easy sailing. And when I'm warm up and I can see where I'm messing up, I can go back and tweak it, which I do. You'll see here. So when I do come back, I realize that the background is not as dark as I would want it to be as far as a mid-tone gray. Like the bottom I think is perfect, and I wish I brought it all the way up, and I'm actually thinking I'm probably going to get critiqued to do that, to bring that mid-tone gray all the way up to the back. And then I think the axolotl would actually punch out a lot more too, now looking at it. But I'll let them have something to critique so I can change it and not have like something I drastically have to change. But I think it came out pretty good, and I do like the technique. It takes a lot more work, but I think the outcome will be more, I'm trying to think of a good word for it, more professional looking, where it doesn't look like everything is blending into one another. And that's the cool thing that we're talking about here, is like, you know, once I get the values right, once I get all that done and over with, I can then choose a color with a similar value and just paint it, and then I will have my painting, and all the hard work of thinking of the values and where the shadows goes and everything like that is done. And I do that a lot with my watercolors. Remember I was telling you I would do like a blue watercolors to all the shades and stuff like that, but I guess it wasn't punching hard enough. But now that when I see it like this, I can just go straight in. I don't have to do that first wash. I'd be like, all right, this is where the, you know, the darkest dark is. I can go ahead and just throw it on there and probably not have to build up as much, meaning with, especially with watercolors, I wouldn't have to use as much water, therefore not ruining the fibers as much, and then maybe not needing as an expensive and heavy paper. So either way, I'm trying to find a technique that works best for me, and this is actually more work in the long run, but I think once I start seeing values better, I might not have to do so many preliminary work where I don't have to do so many thumbnails, and I'm doing them bigger so that I can just see them easier, because he said we can do them even smaller than this, but I don't know. I think sometimes when you go too small, it's harder to get the details in there, and I don't want to be like, oh, you know, I got the gist, and then all these details are in there and I didn't bother doing it. So this was like where the leaves were black, and then no, the leaves were a darker gray and the background is even darker. So I didn't want to do just a solid black. I attempted doing it once with gouache and I didn't like it. I am using Copic markers here and color pencil, charcoal pencils, and chalk. So it's a little different from the norm, but yeah, so the background, the furthest background is supposed to be the darkest dark, and I wanted to add some texture to it, so I went ahead and did like leaf in the background without any outlining, and then the ones that are closest to us, that are the lighter gray, has more detail on the leaves and stuff, and then the axolotl, that's the lightest of the light, and she's a, you know, with the ultimate details. I was trying to also play with how much detail something has as far as further and closer to the distance. So that was that too. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy. I do show in the back after no, that's not me, little peek sneak there. I totally forgot about that. Yay, I'm a kitties. She was actually trying to whack the marker, so I was trying to catch her in the act, and as soon as I did, she turned her head and looked out the window like, nope, nothing to see here. A little sneaky deaky. But yeah, as I was saying, at the end I'm going to show the sketches that I initially drew, thumbnail sketch. I just blew them up in Photoshop and then printed them out in the size that I wanted, and then just printed them straight onto the paper that I wanted. And then from there, I went ahead and started painting on them with the Copic markers. I did try to do gouache, but it was just taking longer, and it's supposed to be quick, just to get a quick study down, so it wasn't supposed to be a finished piece. And for some reason, the gouache wasn't behaving, and I'm not sure if it was just the temperature in the house or what, so I just went straight up. I got some Copics and went ahead and used them. It's not my usual material, but I really don't use them for a whole lot, so I thought, well, this is not a bad deal to go ahead and use them for, and actually worked out really nice. It was nice to just step away from the watercolors and gouache for a minute, and I'm not sure if this is a faster method for me. I mean, yeah, it would be a faster method. I think the fastest would probably be just doing this in Photoshop in general, but I don't know. Just something about drawing on paper I love so much. That's, I think, why I'll probably never be a digital artist in total. I just love traditional materials, even if it's not something I'm used to. Just something with hand on paper just makes me so happy, and feeling that texture and the smell of like color pencils and all that jazz. I don't know. I love it. I love that stuff, and I just don't get the same, like, I don't know. I'm a weirdo that I like to smell the paper and the sketchbooks and all that jazz. So just having something just physical form just makes me extremely happy. I guess I'm old school that way. Anyways, enough of that tangent. So yeah, I did it pretty simple. I wasn't redrawing each piece, so I went ahead and printed on the papers, and we did have to do one on tone paper and one on white paper. I originally had tan paper, and it was really screwing me over as far as just trying to see the value on it, so I went ahead and went out and bought gray tan paper, and that helped me a lot more. So I ended up doing this, funny enough, even though these were supposed to be quick studies, I ended up doing like 5 or 6 of them and only using the 2 that I needed, because I just couldn't think backwards on that tan paper. That really threw me for a loop, and I'm wondering if I keep doing that and getting better at it, it'll maybe help me see just values differently, and I can see them faster that way, which I'm hoping. So I might just do more studies, even if I don't take them to finish, just to do values, just so that I can start seeing in values more than just pretty colors. Yeah. Okay. Well, with that said, again, there's not going to be no music, just so that I don't feel like being flagged, even though I'm using free music. YouTube is having a field day with that. I know a lot of people are getting flagged with that kind of silliness. So go. I hope you guys have your music in the background. If not, I would say go ahead and turn it on for the last few minutes. And yeah. So I guess hope you guys liked. If you did, please go ahead and leave a like. It helps me out also very, very much if you're not subscribed yet. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And if you want to be notified, because I do try to post every Sunday, but it's never a guarantee, go ahead and hit that bell. So apparently it notifies you as soon as I go ahead and post a video. So with that said, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you guys so much for your support and your time spending it with me. I truly do appreciate it. And have a good one. Thanks again for staying to the end.